What's up, guys? Sensei Joe back in the house again. Let's talk about summer in Japan. Yeah, because it's summertime and it's appropriate, I think. I'm gonna compare what it's like during summer in Japan and here, for example, California. Now, if you come from California like me, it's really dry here, even during summer. So if you go to Japan, you'll be surprised. You might be surprised how humid it is in Japan. I mean, in general, it's a very humid place, but still, summer, it gets worse. If you compare the sunbeam, the power of the sunbeam, like the heat, California's got stronger sunbeam, but in Japan, it's got way more humidity. So it almost feels as though, no, it's actually hotter. No, it's actually hotter in Japan, even if the sunbeam is weaker, should I say. Because you feel like there is no escape. It's not like here where you can escape under, you can go under the shades and be like, whew, that was hot. I'll just stay here under a tree and everything's gonna be fine. Like sometimes you even feel cold because the sun is everything in California, for example. Like when you're under the sun, it's hot, but when you go under the shade, it's totally fine. It's kind of like that. But in Japan, there's no escape during summer. It doesn't really matter if the sun is out or it's cloudy. It's still hot because the humidity. It's crazy. It feels like swimming in a pool, like a warm pool, 24/7, and there is no escape unless, of course, if you run into a convenience store, go inside a mall, train. In those places, it's quite the opposite. They turn up the air conditioning so high that it is actually friggin' cold. It feels like I'm inside a refrigerator. No joke, because I get cold easily, and it's quite devastating when I have to travel far, and then you have to sit in that train for a long time, maybe like an hour or so. You know, I got myself prepared and stuff with sandals and all that goods, but you start to regret it because maybe I should have brought a sweatshirt or two. So that's another thing. If you get cold easily, don't be fooled by the humidity and the heat outside, because if you're going to spend some time indoors later, then you might get cold. You know, there might be a chance of becoming unhealthy from the air conditioner rather than the heat. So yes, I always bring with me something to, wear on top of t-shirt or whatever. And I don't really go out with sandals because, first of all, I was in Tokyo, so and Japan is a crowded place, and I don't want to be walking or be crammed inside a train with a lot of people and people stepping on my feet and stuff like that. So even if it's summer, I like wearing shoes, and yes, it could get very cold, so I bring something to wear on top, like sweatshirt or something like that. It's really important. And of course, the obvious, like the sunscreen and water and hat. But these things, worst comes to worst, if you forget to bring these things, you can go to the convenience stores, because most likely they'll definitely be selling water, sunscreen, yes. I think they'll be selling hats too. But something that can really, protect you from all this heat. You can definitely find it at almost any convenience store. So that's really cool. And vending machines, right? Vending machines on every block. That you can't really dehydrate in Japan, especially if you're out in the cities. And by the way, I made a video on why there are so many vending machines in Japan, and it's not the same explanation as the one that you guys might have seen in other channels and stuff. I feel like the video that I posted on my channel about vending machine is more accurate, because the reason being is that it's from a Japanese person's perspective, and I actually, checked up with the things that I said about the vending machines with my Japanese fans to see if they agreed with my reasoning, and they're like, yeah, totally, So you might be thinking otherwise because, I don't know what you guys saw on other sites and stuff. It's not that accurate. So, at least what my Japanese fans said. or the audience said. It's not that accurate like the ones that they have other places. So I recommend you watch the one on my channel. Okay, so anyway, let's get that out of the way. Next up, I'm going to talk about how mosquitoes are so hardcore in Japan. Basically, in Asia, insects are strong as hell because humidity turns these insects into something stronger because, how do you say, they've got more energy from water, right? I mean, they've got a lot of, the food is abundant and water is abundant, so they're like, yeah, they're all buffed up and crazy. I feel like they're way faster than the ones that you find here in California. They look tougher, and I think I get allergic reaction way more than if I got bit here in California. So that's something. It's really strong. And of course, the cockroaches are hardcore as hell too. They don't die like many times, even if you slap them with a newspaper or magazine or whatever. They just go runs away. It's like, oh shit, that didn't do anything. So anyway, yeah, that's another thing. If you're gonna be living in Japan, then I recommend you keep your house clean and yeah, don't leave food behind. Don't forget to wash your dishes and stuff because yes, it's quite hardcore. It is Asia, right? So that's what it is. And to repel mosquitoes, there's something called Katori Senko in Japan. Some of you might know this, but Katori Senko is an incense. Incense, is that how do you say it? Like the things that you light with a match or lighter, and it starts burning stuff that smells like something. Wow, that is a great explanation, right? Awesome English right here. But yeah, Katori Senko is very popular, and it's that green swirly thing that people have with smokes coming out. And yeah, it's very popular. It's probably the most popular way to repel mosquitoes. Although I think I'm allergic to those things, so it doesn't. Yeah, before it kills mosquitoes, it would kill me. So it's not so much of a choice. But there are also electric repellents for mosquitoes and stuff too. The ones that don't smell like anything. You just put it in the middle of the room or just connect it to a socket, and it repels mosquitoes or something. So that's another choice. They also sell repellent sprays and stuff, but I don't like to put those because I feel like those could be damaging to my skin as well. Anyway, but people use it, or wristbands that repel mosquitoes, but I don't know which one works or not. But those are all the different ways to keep the mosquitoes away. Now, when it's hot, a lot of people like eating popsicles, and one type of popsicle, one brand of popsicle is Gari Gari Kun. This is really popular. Gari Gari Kun is the one with like the blue package, I think, with the little like kid. It doesn't really look like a kid, but like this how do you say, kid with shaved hair, just like eating the popsicle, like Gari Gari. Gari Gari is the onomatopoeia. It's the sound that people make when people like bite into something hard, like gari gari gari, right? Like grinding almost. So I think that's why it's called Gari Gari Kun. But that is something that almost every single Japanese people know. Every single Japanese person knows. Yeah. That's about it. And yeah, what do you do? What do people do in Japan during summer? A lot of people, well, for example, if nature is close by, then people go out, well, like kids many times, they go to the mountains or in the forest with, how do you say, net, with a stick on it to catch insects. And many insects you cannot find here, you can find in Japan. Well, I'm saying California. Cicadas, is that what it's called? Cicada, like the things that make the buzz sound like meh, 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 meh. Sure, they have cicadas here in California too, but the ones that you find in Japan, to me, are more, how do you say it? There's so many different types, and all the different types of cicadas make different sounds, so that's how you can tell one from another. For example, minmin zemi. Well, semi is cicada in Japanese, And minminzemi, the reason why they're called minminzemi is because they make that min sound, like mim, 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 mim. I think I did a perfect impression of that. So the next time you go to Japan during summer, the chances are you will hear that. Depending on, well, I mean, if you're in Tokyo, at least around that area, you will find that. Damn it, I'm so good at making this. I just realized. But I would like to hear from you guys if you ever hear that for the first time. Like, let me know in the comments. Like, holy shit, Joe, that's actually the sound that I heard when I went to Japan during summer, kind of stuff. So yeah, they die after a week or so. It's something that people know too. Like they, before coming outside, they stay inside the dirt. Like when they're babies or larvae or whatever it's called. They stay there for a few years, but then when they come out, they start like making sounds and die after a week. So it's like a short span of life. But anyway, that's that. Other than, how do you say, capturing semi or cicadas, a lot of kids or adults too go out to catch beetles. But it's not like the beetles that you guys imagine. Well, at least in many places. Well, at least here we don't have that. It's called kabutomushi. Kabuto means a helmet. Like, it's because it kind of looks like a samurai's helmet. And kabuto, and mushi means insect, so it's like the helmet bug. And that's one of the most popular ones that people set out to catch in Japan. There's another type of beetle called kuwagata. That's the one with the scissory thingy. Like that. But yeah, those are, like, if you find those and catch those, it's considered to be like, yeah, bingo, right? But yeah. Other than that, people set out to catch dragonflies too. And so summer is filled with a lot of fun things to do. And people go to the beach too, of course. It's really different from the beaches that you find here in California. Especially if you go to beaches near Tokyo, then it's going to be very, how do you say, mainstream. So it's going to be very touristy, and there's going to be a lot of people. And if you're cool with that kind of stuff, then that's fun. But for me, I want a more laid-back, chill kind of beaches. So I like going to the countryside where there are less people and maybe do stand-up paddle or something like that. That's fun too. But the water is very lukewarm in many places in Japan. It's not like here in California where it's brisky, cold, fresh kind of stuff. It's more so lukewarm. And watch out for jellyfishes. Yeah. And there are a lot of beaches with sands that are black sand. Because I'm used to going to beaches with white sand here, the West Coast. So that was another difference. So I guess that's about it. I think that's all I can think of for now. But if you guys have more questions about it, let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great summer vacation and whatnot. Yeah. By the way, summer is natsu in Japanese, and summer vacation is natsuyasumi. So I'll talk to you guys later. The best Japanese lesson in the galaxy. I'm your Sensei Joe. Bye-bye. Boys and girls 男の子は強く優しくて清く正しく君とならどこまでも行けるから This is not who I am. This is not where I wanna be. Of my boulder, sad, pathetic life. Fuck, shit, bitch, 悪いこと